Yeah, hello and a warm welcome. This video introduces Excel helpers to generate correction tables for randomized Moodle questions. Yeah, hello again. My name is Joe Fensterle. I'm professor of biotechnology at the Rhine-Waal University in Kleve, using Moodle for assessments. And in this video, we talk about these type correction tables, which I usually use, and an Excel sheet which generates these automatically. Maybe if you watch this video as for the first time and have not watched other videos from me with respect to the Moodle generation, I would recommend you to watch the general Moodle quiz generation with Excel first, which also introduces the close question, which is the type which is at the end the backbone of this question. And maybe you also watch the video on the assign type question, because these are the more going into detail. What can you expect here? So the question type which is generated looks like this. This is an example of an exam of microbiology. So you have proteobacteria. Please decide whether the following sentence contains a content error or not. Protea are big. Of course, no, they are not big, but small, and some of them can be cultivated on agar blades. Correct. And then you can go yourself. Proteobacteria contain chemolithotrophic and organotrophic species. This, I would say, is of course correct. And then Azotobacter species can degrade toxic substances. This is certainly not correct, because Azotobacter is fixing nitrogen, but Pseudomonas can do it. So this is how these question type looks like. And of course, I have then not everything. And these are correct and these are incorrect. How is this automatically generated? This is done in Excel. So let's dive into this. So this is the Excel sheet. So you see that you generate the question here, you randomize, you use then different things here, and out of these responses it is drawn. And then I go to generate output. I say I have different categories and so on. I'm generating, let's generate 4 questions. I click Export Moodle. And now let's import it into Moodle. So here we go. Import. Moodle-XML. This is the file generated. I just drag and drop it here. Import. I have set 4 questions. Here they are. And this is how it looks like. And of course, I can include charts, graphs, and so on. So here is my table. Okay, so that's how, as I said, this has been a demonstration, very brief. Of course, you can access the sheet as linked in the description via GitHub, and then you can go. So again, this is something, this type of question I like to use, because they make them more to think, and they're certainly a higher difficulty level than just multiple choice question. Of course, again, we don't talk here about how to design an exam and so on. I mix the type of questions. So this is one type of questions I use, and I certainly don't use 10 correction tables per exam. The students would kill me. Okay, so let's go a bit in more detail how these questions are set up. Okay, let's dive in directly into this Excel sheet. And you might remember from other videos, you always have this intro text. And in this intro text, you write things. Often with this correction table, you have seen the example of the proteobacteria. You don't have images. If you want to include an image, you can, of course, do that. This is how images are included. And you see here also, in this case, they're included in a randomized manner. This is described in more detail again in the Assign Elements video. I recommend to watch that or if you want to learn that in more detail. So, but I want to skip that. This is just the intro text. Of course, the people need to know what to do. This is then described here. And then you then just type in your text here. For example, in arts, feet of ducks are usually drawn in blue. And obviously blue is not correct. I would say red is correct. So of course, you know, your students, even typing in blue is hard. So there will be a lot of spelling errors. And these type of questions is a short answer type of response, which is expected. It's recommended to kind of look already for common spelling errors, or if the people put in blue and so on, this is also correct. So I'm just putting that like this in order to make it easier to get these errors, let's say, avoided. So this is how you type it in. So this is you type in all the responses. The problem usually is that you want to have a reference how a correct answer looks like. So you just say, in this case, you say type is text, and you say in space, ducks are frequently found. And space in this case would be wrong. And in lakes is correct. Yeah. So this is then given as a text. So this is kind of printed like it is in order that they know what to do. Okay, so I've just now copied the reference response here and just commenting a bit. So we have, as for the multiple response questions, we have categories, and as for the assign question, we have categories. So I recommended you watch the assign question first, and you see that here, if I have a text, I put it in italics, so it makes sense to have an idea of HTML elements. It's not necessary, it's not absolutely required, but this helps. So in this case, this will appear in italic. So this is kind of the default solution. And you see that I have different categories. So this is category 1, this is category 2, and the zeros are always there. So as soon as I have a 0, this always appears in the table. And you also see that sometimes the correct is not just 1. So in arts, the head of the ducks is usually drawn in red, but it's not just head. It could be also beak. It could also be the feet. It could state foot and leg and so on. So you see, if you have more than one thing what you expect to be as the correct solution, you can separate these different things via a tilde, and then you have to put an equal sign for alternative correct solution. This is a short answer, so you don't need to put incorrect solutions here. This doesn't matter, only the correct solution. So you see that always, and if it's of course correct, there is no corrected solution. That is clear. Okay, so this is how you generate your table. This is how you generate your text. Again, you can put different categories, and then you can tell. So again, everything is which is 0 always is included. Things which is a category 1 or higher can be drawn, and this you also define in this general output. This is similar to what you have in the assign question. Okay, now first we look at here. So you want to have 3 things which are drawn. So, and I have 2 of category 2 and 1 of category 1. So in other words, it takes always 2 questions here and 1 question here. And I'm generating 4 questions. So let's generate what we have already done before. You can just type in a different number. This is again the penalty. If you have more than, if you allow more than 1 trial, you can put in a general feedback, a hint. The number included, this is something else. And then, of course, the names of the files and the path. So it's generating this XML file then later on. And number substitute values, again, this is if you use a randomization. So this is included here. So you have then 3 different ones where you have 3 different pictures. Again, the pictures need to be on an image server. Again, watch the assign video first in order to have there more detail, and then you can assign different annotations here and go. This copy HTML select you can neglect. This is coming from an old version. I don't want to go in details in this respect. And again, how does it look in Moodle? You generate then the export import I have shown in the demo at the beginning, so I don't show that again. So you just import it, and then you have your 4 different things generated. Preview. So you have the picture of the duck. You have the text. Of course, everything you see that which was marked in text is now without the boxes. It's printed in italic as we told it. And then this in Artspeed of ducks are usually drawn in blue is always included. And you see that other elements are not always included. So you can then put in your responses and everything is fine. Yeah, so this is in brief how you can generate these correction type of questions. Again, in most cases, these are without picture, but you can include the images, as I said. And again, you need to have the images on an image server. It cannot be used on Moodle. More details in the video for the assign question. Yeah, so that's another type. So if don't miss the other videos explaining the Excel sheets for yet other types in order that you can generate a zoo of different question types. And that's it for today. The link again is in the description to the Excel sheet. So I wish you a nice remaining day. Have fun with generating your next Moodle quiz. Goodbye.